world today?
I can't get no
satisfaction. I think we've actually sung that song on here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Funny. Apparently we're... Anyway. Good answer.
I'm just gonna BS my way through it.
Okay. We'll refer to it as in the bedroom. But back in... I'm like, I hate you.
Hey friend.
Welcome to Random Chittering.
I'm Trisha.
And I'm Jen. Let us chitter.
Randomly.
That's awesome. Trisha and I have talked a couple times about maybe talking about our marriages on Random Chittering. And there's a lot you can say about marriage.
Yes, good and bad.
Good and bad. But yesterday I read an article that talks about why modern marriages are very, very difficult. Do you have any thoughts why?
Well, there's just a lot of outside influence now.
There's a lot of outside influence. That's very true.
You can't have your own little world anymore, you know, that people used to. So you can't like, oh, this is my oasis, my castle, Too much gets in.
Well, it's interesting you say that. That's not in the article, but a good point. So here's...
Good try, but not what I was going for.
I always love when people ask me questions and there's no way for me to know the answer, but still a good answer.
I'm just going to BS my way through it.
Okay, so there was a report that says before 1850, people got married for food production, shelter, and protection from violence.
I could see that.
Okay.
Food production.
I thought that was weird too. I might read more into that later.
Food production.
But then about
is that like to?
Well, maybe because you're a farmhand.
Before 1850.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It just says that before 1850. But then in the mid-19th century, people started getting married for love and companionship. And that's where marriage went wrong. Well, because we've even made it worse in our society today.
Mm-hmm.
Because we expect our spouse to be our everything.
To make us happy.
Yeah, to make us happy. To be our companion, our confidant, our lover, our provider of everything. Yeah, everything that you need. And do you know what that means?
It's a lot of stress.
It means, and there's more room for dissatisfaction or disappointment.
Right. Well, and there's no sense of permanence in society anymore.
Also not in the article, but a great point.
When you get married, it's not permanent. You could just drop in like a hot rock.
Oh, that's true. You know that? I mean, because that is true. Because it's like when you're all dissatisfied with your marriage, then it's like,
why stick around?
You're not doing it for me. Peace out.
Right.
And the other thing it talks about in, I call it marital relations, but it's also known as sex. We'll refer to it as in the bedroom, but back in the day, in the bedroom was an obligation. So as a married couple, you felt obligated to share relations in the bedroom, whereas in today's society, we feel like we both need to be engaged and passionate and lust after each other and have this really amazing relationship.
Well, and I think it's very selfish. Yeah, you're not doing it for the other person. It's all about what can I get out of it?
How am I doing this? And you can see how that's very different, like doing it out of obligatory duty versus how do I, anyway, so there's more pressure there.
Yes.
Which also leaves more room for dissatisfaction. And so that's a problem that we have in the world today.
I can't get no
satisfaction. I think we've actually sung that song on here.
Yeah.
Interesting. Funny. Apparently we're... Anyway, but... I have a confession. I always thought that there was maybe a problem with my own marriage because my husband wasn't meeting my needs for a confidant, okay? Because sometimes I have problems and I take them to my husband and he tries to fix them, and you've heard this before. Like psychology, like men's brains and women's brains are differently. So I always felt bad because I would have female friends that I go talk to, and I felt almost like I was cheating on my husband. Like, I should be able to talk to my husband about this.
Right, but he's not going to listen, or he won't be able to tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah. And so in this article, the researcher actually said that the answer to this problem is to not expect your companion to be your everything. So you should actually have friends and hobbies outside of marriage.
That's good. But I also think there's balance, because if it takes you too far out or outside all the time, then your marriage is going to go south anyway.
I know, that's kind of, I mean, it's kind of scary, but I felt good about it.
But yeah, that's very true, because it's not fair to make it all his job
to satisfy you.
Right,
and
in all aspects. Right, and that's there's no way one person can fulfill that for
everything
another.
For you.
Right.
Like before, it was like they were there to protect you, and now they have to protect and provide and
right.
listen and satisfy and like all this stuff.
And be a woman and be a man all at the same time.
And you can't expect a man to think like a woman, so
right.
I don't feel guilty anymore. And I talked to my husband about it, and he says, I love when you go out with your girlfriends and you come back with great stories and
you're happy.
And you're happy and you're better. And so he's like, go out. And then the thing is, though, my husband doesn't like to go out with guy friends. He's not a guy friend kind of guy. And so I'm trying to help him, like, at least find hobbies or something he
right.
can do.
Like building rock tumblers in your basement.
Like building rock tumblers. So I am supporting him in all of his new, what do you call that, inventions or whatever he's doing. He's kind of an entrepreneur at heart, and so he has side things. And they used to make me really angry because I'm like, ugh, why do you spend all your time
right?
doing...
Come talk to me.
Yeah, but you know what? We need that. You can't expect your companion to be your everything. So I think marriage, I mean, it needs to be a little bit of functionality.
Right.
You know, it needs to be functional, and love and lust can be there, but
they're not going to be there all the time either.
And you can't expect it.
Well, I know our marriage, it goes like a roller coaster. I mean, there's times when my husband's very stressed, especially with work, and sometimes it feels like we're just roommates because he's doing his thing and I have to do my thing, and there's just no time for us to connect or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And you just deal with it. You just keep going because you know it's going to be over soon, and it is, and you can get back and it'll be fine. But those things happen, and you just can't go, well, this just isn't doing it for me.
I'm out of here. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's true. I think you have to look at marriage as, like, I'm committed to you, I'm loyal, I liked you at one point, I'll probably like you again, let's stick it out.
You always love them, you might not always like them. So, it's okay. That's what I say to my husband when I'm mad. I love you, but I don't like you right now.
Well, sometimes I look at my husband and I'm like, I hate you. And
I yelled some stuff at my husband.
I feel terrible. But you know, like last night, my husband and I were fighting last night, and we woke up this morning, we hugged each other, he brought me lunch at work, I kissed him, I thought he was cute again, it was all good.
Yeah, it's good.
And that's kind of marriage, you know, because I can't expect him to be perfect, and I can't expect him to know everything I need.
Right.
So, modern
They're
marriage,
not mind readers.
Nope, and
right.
neither are we, so they can't expect more from us either, so.
That's right.
Anyway, low expectations, I think, are...
Not necessarily low expectations. Realistic expectations.
Sure, we'll go
there
with
we
that.
go.
I think low is more expensive. Anyway, so...
Oh, realistic.
So if your marriage goes like this, please know that you're just normal. And modern marriage, as it says in this article, which we will post a link down below. Yeah, it's hard. Just so you know. Oh, you know what else is interesting? Final thought. So it wasn't until the 1960s where marriage became an option. Like people felt like they had a choice to marry or not to marry.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what it
That
said.
recent?
Yeah, it said 1960s. So only been like 50 years or something.
So it's...
Before then it was like traditional. You get married.
Get out of here.
But then, you know, obviously there were women's rights and things that came into.
Right.
So.
And now you can marry whoever you want to marry.
Almost. We're almost there. Right?
I love you, Jen.
I'm not going there. But yeah, I mean, okay, so I will say, there are even couples in our society today that don't set limits on extra marital in the bedroom
They
stuff.
have a open marriage.
Yeah, that's a thing where if your spouse doesn't satisfy you that way,
Yeah.
but we don't believe in that.
No. I'm a little jealous. Try that. A lot of it of jealous.
Of what? Open marriages?
No.
Oh.
No, like, I don't want to have to share my husband with anybody else.
Oh, I thought you were jealous of people with open marriages. I was like, really?
Oh my gosh. If I saw another woman touch my husband, I would claw her face off. Be aware.
Yeah.
If you touch my husband,
Wow.
I will claw your face off.
Wow.
And I'm a big girl. I will squish you flat like a pancake. Okay? Just to let you know.
I used to think that like sister wives would kind of be nice because if I wasn't in the mood, maybe my sister wife would be, and then I wouldn't have to do it.
See, the only thing I'd want someone else in the house for is to help clean up.
I'd like someone to watch my kids.
Like, I am totally good with marital relations. That's
She's
that's
big with that.
mine. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I agree. So that means I believe that should stay in a married couple. But I guess for friendship, hobbies, companionship, stuff like that, you can go outside.
Right.
And yeah, so kind of cool, interesting.
Yeah.
The end.
And they lived happily ever after.
No, that's not true. Marriage is not a happily ever after. It is a...
And they worked on it every day for the rest of their lives.
Well, I can see why that's not as romantical right there.
And they made a choice every morning to love one another.
Okay, see, even there, I think that's saying too much. They made a choice to not leave each other forever.
That's right. And they made up after the fight after breakfast.
And then they had another fight at lunch and they made up after that one too.